Panama became the top ship registry in the world by 1993, and the annual registration of merchant ships has increased ever since. In total, over 8,200 vessels bear the flag of Panama, over 82 million tons, which equal 22% of the total tonnage in the world. In this video, we will talk about the Panama Canal, the Panamanian flag of convenience, and the recruitment of Panamanians in the shipping industry. We will finish with a short conclusion that includes a discussion about future scenarios and links the current situation to the Waterstein and Taylor models.
Thanks to this canal, Panama is one of the best connected countries in the world, and the best one in Latin America. 40 ships pass on average through the canal per day, each of them taking from 8 to 10 hours to cross the canal's 48 miles. In June 2016, successfully concluding a 9-year project estimated to have cost $5.4 billion, the Panama Canal inaugurated an expanded set of longer and deeper docks. As a result, 85% of the ships in the order book are now able to pass through the canal. Before the expansion, only 15% could do so. The major benefits of this expansion are, on the one hand, the improvement of the links between Asia and the east coast of North America, and on the other hand, a gain in competitiveness against its main rivals, the land bridge across North America and the Suez Canal.
But who profits from this? Until 1994, when the USA left Panama, the canal helped mainly the commercial interests of Britain, France, and the USA, especially the latter. It also favored the Panamanian middle class. Even when in 1999, the ACP, Panama Canal Authority, started to be in charge of the canal, the money did not reach the population. In fact, the greater part of the population does not participate in the big decisions regarding the canal or its revenues. Citizens are currently demanding that the profits are used to develop the country in a sustainable manner, to help disadvantaged sectors and to solve the currently existing debt in the fundamental public services and infrastructure.
Even if Panama has undertaken an economic progress and the registry is lucrative as it brings in $500 million for the economy in fees, services, and taxes, 20% of the Panamanians live in a poverty situation. 19% of children below 5 years old suffer from chronic desnutrition, and percentages are even higher in rural areas, where they can be up to 85%. Education is also very poor, and 40% of children in studying age are not going to school. In addition, 70% of professionals are concentrated in only one province, La Provincia de Panama. This is a clear example of the effects that a global event has in the local stage.
Panama now has the largest registry in the world, followed by Liberia, the Marshall Islands, Hong Kong, and Singapore. By last year, almost 3/4 of the world's fleet was registered under a flag of a country other than its own. It's what we call flags of convenience. Due to the law of 57 in 2008 by the Panamanian government, there have been changes that have created even better conditions. For example, before that law, the registry of a ship had to be renewed every 2 years, and now you can register it indefinitely.
But why is Panama's flag beneficial to the vessel's owners? Panama has economic regulation and benefits and environmental regulations. Economic regulation and benefits. It is less expensive than in other countries. Also, Panama operates with an open registry. Its flag offers the advantages of easier and faster registration, often online, and it can also be dual, which is a great advantage to European ships which could otherwise be forced to register in their own countries at a greater expense. Furthermore, the foreign owners pay no income taxes. This is all done by the creation of Panama corporations. Another economic benefit is that there is no minimum tonnage requirement to register under the flag. Last but not least, it does discounts for fleets and pleasure vessels and has flexible requirements regarding the nationality of the crew, which makes it even more attractive.
Environmental regulations. Panama lets vessels as old as 25 years register, which creates a huge risk for the environment, like the risk of spilling and no eco-friendly vessels. However, there are special discounts for operators and ship owners who demonstrate innovations for the reduction of air pollution and the conservation of the marine environment, such as eco-ships and green ships. Finally, vessels over 20 years must pass an inspection.
Problems. The main problems of the Panamanian system are registration, ethics, shipping certificates, and accidents. Registration. Luis Fruto, representative of the International Transport Workers Federation, ITF, in Panama, says that the country turns a blind eye to its responsibilities in order to acquire higher registration. The ITF considers that Panamanian registration is better than some, from a safety viewpoint, but it remains seriously flawed in areas such as oversight, accident investigation, and crew assistance. Ethics. 2 years ago, Mr. Fruto investigated the death of a woman sailor who became trapped in machinery that was reportedly faulty and died. The ITF says that rather than heading for the nearest port, as rules dictate, the ship continued to sail for more than 2 weeks with her body in a freezer. This is an example of the extremely unethical policy followed by some of the ship owners who only search for economic profit.
Shipping certificates. In 2000, ITF General Secretary David Cockcroft was able to buy a Panamanian First Officer certificate for $4,000 to navigate a ship, even though he had no maritime skills nor experience. Despite repeated assurances that the country was cleaning up this act, Roberto Linares, the head of the Panama Maritime Authority, resigned after it was discovered that workers were being certified without the proper qualifications. Accidents. Currently, accidents involving Panamanian registered ships are high. However, Carlos González, former executive secretary of the Panamanian Maritime Authority, attributes this to a numbers game. Panama has the most ships and therefore the most incidents, he says. This statement disregards the fact that the Panamanian fleet includes very old vessels compared to other countries.
Recruitment. 2/3 of the active population in Panama works in the service sector, which includes operation and management of the Panama Canal, container ports, and flagship registry. The importance of transport and logistics are recognized and encouraged by the Plan Estratégico Gubernamental 2015-2019 and identified as the most potential sector able to increase Panama's economical productivity. However, whereas the Panamanian flag is extremely requested, the Panamanian nationality is not very popular when it comes to the market for employment on board. Once a ship is registered in one of the major open registries such as Panama, the ship owners employ foreign nationals at wage levels that depend on the seafarer nationality rather than on the country of ownership or registration. Currently, there are over 1.5 million seafarers in the world. Philippines and Indonesia are the biggest suppliers of ratings, and China of officers.
To sum up, Panama has a system of regulations that helps foreign owners and that generates revenue to the Panamanian government. This income, however, does not usually reach the people, and there exists a great inequality among the Panamanians. This reinforces Taylor's vertical division by scale model, because it shows how a global phenomenon, such as the shipping industry, affects both nation-state and local stages. However, the impact is quite the opposite. Whereas the Panamanian government is the state level and obtains a benefit from this experience, the local, which are the Panamanian citizens who either work for the canal or suffer from the inequalities, never reach this income. It seems like there is a barrier between nation-state and locality, and the flux never gets to the inner round. Following the Wallerstein model, Panama could be considered as a semi-periphery country. The core is constituted by the owners of the vessels, generally European or American businessmen. Some of the Panamanian workers could be regarded as the periphery inside of the country, because they do not participate in the decision-making process. Seafarers, as they are cheap labor force, are also in the periphery, but at an international level.
What about the future? Some scholars, such as Jorge Luis Sánchez, professor at the International Maritime University of Panama, asserts that Panama's registry will last forever. Nevertheless, some others believe that a change is possible and necessary. ITF Secretary Leon Whitlow, for instance, says that banning the flags of convenience will benefit seafarers, as they will receive greater protection and security. However, flags of convenience in our world today are just a reality, and for now, they seem to be here to stay.